Okay, good morning, everybody. And today we're just going to do some exercises for our immune system. And before we do that, I'm going to take my socks off. You don't have to do that, but this is better for the camera. You can see my feet a little bit better in contrast with the rug. So, having your feet shoulder width apart and having your thumbs touching the sides of your legs. And feeling that your feet are rooted to the ground and your tailbone is pointing downward, which gives extension to your spine. And that your back is straight, but your chest and shoulders are relaxed. And having a sense that your head is connected to the heavens above. And if you like, you can close your eyes or have your eyes semi-closed. Help to bring your attention and even your intention within. Our eyes are always extending our energy outwards, but when we kind of close them or semi-close them, we can bring our intention within. You could describe it as like in everyday life, it's like we're like a car with the headlights on constantly shining out. But sometimes we just need to have that moment of quietude, if you like, pulling over into a lay-by and switching the headlights off and switching the interior lights of your car on. So we're just switching on our interior light, our inner lights. And it's good to do this standing posture with smooth and steady inhalations and exhalations. You do not have to force your breath. Just allow your breath to become deeper. Okay, good. So, if you like to bend your knees and wave your arms back and forth. Good exercise to do when you get up in the morning. You can do it softly, just bend your knees very softly and wave your arms very softly. And as you're warming up, you can do this a lot more vigorously. Get your energies really activated. Getting the blood and the chi moving. Getting our joints moving. And good to move from our center of gravity down here. And if you like, you can do a little bit faster. Get everything moving, including your lymph. The lymphatic system is an important part of your immune system. So we want to be a little bit vigorous, get the lymph going, moving. We are naturally creatures of movement. So as we move, we pump the lymph around our body. It's not like our circulation system where you've got a heart pumping. So the lymphatics does rely a lot more on movement. And slowing down. And relax. Rubbing your hands nice and vigorously together. And rubbing your kidneys. And rubbing your lower back. You can use your fingers to rub inside the, in the small of your back, between lumbar 2 and 3, if you want to be more exact, and rubbing down around L5, lumbar 5, which is the lowest vertebrae, and then down into your sacrum. I suppose they're vertebrae as well. That's perhaps not such a correct anatomical statement, but I hope you get the gist of what I'm trying to explain. And then down to your tailbone. And then having your hands on your kidneys, having your shoulders back. So like this, it's very, our shoulders can often be scrunching inwards, rounded inwards. So bring your shoulders back and do some slow rotations. And the other way around. And if you like to shake your leg from the hip to the knee, to the ankle, down into the foot, with a sense of elongation. And the other side, from your hip to the knee, to your ankle, down into your foot. And shaking your arms as well, from the shoulders, elbows, wrists, hands, fingers. Okay, so just some simple warm-up exercises. So since today we're working with more with our immune system, we're going to work mainly with our lung energy as well as other systems. So the first thing we're going to do is tap the top of our lungs. We have various acupoints along here which help to stimulate lung energy. And then with one hand, loose fist, if you like to, work along the line that goes to your thumb. So we're going to tap along this line. This is the lung meridian. And then we're going to tap our index finger and then going up the line up to the front of the top of our arm here, the deltoid muscle. And then we're going to do the same on the opposite side. So tapping towards the thumb on the inside of the arm, index finger, and then tapping on the outside, going to the top of our arm. And then you can either have a beak or loose fist or whatever you feel like, and you can tap in a clockwise fashion, so that's your right to your left, across our breastbone, our sternum, and behind here is the thymus glands. Another important part of our immune system, part of the lymphatic system. Just tapping into the middle of the sternum. Good. So, for our first stretchy exercise of the day, I want you to work with your thumbs and your index finger and interlock the thumbs with your index fingers pointing outwards. And if you like to lift up your arms like this. In fact, shall we do that again? I'm gonna rephrase that. If you want to lift up your chest and then lift up your arms like that, that's it. And breathe in. And breathing out. And extend downwards. So when I mean extending downwards, I mean your head's going downwards and your arms are actually going upwards. And just breathe naturally. On each out breath, see if you can move even a little bit more, even if it's just a little 1 millimeter, where it's your head going down and your fingers going up. On each out breath, just try to extend that little bit more, and don't worry about pushing, trying to overextend, trying to be macho and pushing yourself. Just go as far as you feel comfortable. If there's pain, back off, because pain is no gain. Your from upwards. And separate the hands, and then rotate the arms back. And interlock the thumbs again, but this time swap over the interlock. So if it was left over right, now it's going to be right over left, or whatever way you was doing it. And lift up the chest, breathe in. Breathing outwards, bring your head downwards. And breathe naturally. This is particularly good for the lungs and the large intestine energies. And the lungs and the intestines are important parts of our immunity from a Chinese medicine point of view. It gives your lower back a bit of a stretch as well. Like I said earlier, don't push yourself too far. Only go as far as you feel comfortable. And then on your next in-breath, slowly coming back up. Disengage your thumbs. Rotate your arms back. And relax. Also, it's a great exercise for your posture because it's very easy to get all scrunched up. So it's a great um, exercise to straighten your upper spine here. So it's very good for your posture. So the next exercise, hands out in front, and breathe in. And bring your arms out. And breathe out. Bring your hands back like you're holding a football. And then bring your hands down. Breathing in. And breathing out. So this exercise, which is called opening the chest, is helping to open up the chest, helping to massage your lungs and your shoulders. Helping us to become more open. Because when we close down, we're feeling depressed or closing down. So doing these exercises can also on the mental level as well as the energetic and physical level. Helping us to be more open, if you like, open-hearted as well. Helping to counteract our tensions and shutting down. I was actually listening to an interview today on talk radio by a professor. They're talking about psychoneuroimmunology, which is a bit of a mouthful, but in a way what we're doing is applied psychoneuroimmunology, which basically means is that how our mind can affect our immune system, our nervous system, our endocrinal system. And you're saying something quite interesting, that psychological research has shown that, or research into psychoneuroimmunology has shown that people that are in long-term unemployed and in a state of loneliness, they actually can measure the amount of years that are knocked off their life. Just to show you how our mind and our body can easily be affected. And then finishing off the last one. And relax. Our next exercise is kind of a classic Qigong exercise, shooting an arrow. So we're going to cross the hands over. I'm going to do this as I'm doing this, because there's you can easily get confused about lefts and rights. In fact, don't worry about lefts and rights, but I'm just going to say it just to help with the direction of doing the exercise. So I'm going to demonstrate this first. With my left hand on the inside, I'm going to curl the fingers in, so I'm pulling on an imaginary string of a bow, and then my right hand is going out with my index finger and thumb pointing outwards. And I'm looking at the index finger, and then I'm coming back I'm bringing my right hand on the inside, and then once again drawing on the string of the bow and extending the bow outwards with my left hand, looking at the index finger, and then coming back. So the cross of our hands is just underneath the collarbone, the clavicle here. Okay, with my left hand on the inside, if you like to grab hold of your bow, sorry, your string of your bow, and then stretching out and breathe out. Look at your index finger and breathing in and breathing out, extending out. Coming back, breathing in, left hand on the inside, extending out, breathing out. And breathing in, right hand on the inside, stretching out, breathing out. And very much focus on your thumb and your index finger. Focus your eyes, your mind in that direction. Helps to allow the flow of energy through the meridians. And finishing off the one that you're doing, bring your hands back and then bring your hands downwards. And just have a quiet moment just to allow the energy just to settle. Next exercise, hands just below the navel. And this is separating clouds, this exercise. So bringing your hands up above your head and then bring your hands back down again. Breathing in as you're coming up. Breathing out as you're coming down. So feel that you're drawing energy through the midline of the body as you're opening up the chest as well at the same time. And feel that you are expanding your aura outwards as well at the same time. Having a sense that building up the energy body around you is boosting up your immune system. There is a thing in Chinese medicine called Wei Qi, or defensive Qi. So you can imagine that you're in a nice energy bubble. Mind you, you don't want to be too defensive. Otherwise you'll start collapsing and closing down inwardly. But it's good to have healthy boundaries. That's what I'm trying to explain. Not so well. I'm trying to explain that it's good to have healthy boundaries. And swap your hands over. So the outside hand is now on the inside, and repeat. And feel that your energies is uplifting, that you're feeling emotionally and mentally uplifted as you're doing this exercise. Do it with a smile. Feel that the corners of your mouth are lifting up. This is all very good stuff to build your immune system. It's all psychoneuroimmunology. And bring your hands down just below the navel and relax. Looking at the video, it looks like my right foot is forward than my left, but it actually isn't. It's just the angle of the camera and the wonky floorboards of this room. So actually, I am nice and straight, just in case anybody thinks, oh, he's a bit skew with. That might look a bit easier, actually. Oh dear, never mind. Such is life. I haven't got perfect conditions here. This is as it is. This is reality. This is not some fancy studio. Or there's a guy that does it on Facebook, and what he does is actually fantastic, but it's all beautiful and it's all in Bali and it's all beautiful trees and everything. But I don't have those facilities, so bear with me. I'm trying to improve things as I'm going along. But this is real, so this is nothing fancy or anything like that. And sometimes I think I'd rather have it real, because this is how we all live in our lives, really, isn't it? It's in these kinds of similar conditions. Okay, so the next exercise is I want you to bring your hands on your lower back. So tucking your backs of your hands right into the base of your lower back, shoulders back. And this one's called Shaking the Body Walls Off All Illnesses. So I want you to breathe in and breathing out and breathing out, bouncing on your knees and breathing in and breathing out. And it's bringing our energy down into our belly. It's helping to move the lymphatic system, a bit like trampolining would do. And breathing out as you're bouncing. It's also weight bearing. It's stimulating our bones and therefore our bone marrow. And bone marrow is a very important part of our immune system. If you're wondering about breathing with this exercise, it's nice to breathe in through your nose and then out of your mouth. And breathing out not just any waste products, but also any psychological build-up of tension. And just breathing out any unwanted stuff. Also, good steady breathing as well is helps to alkalize your blood, which is therefore helping with our immune system as well. And to shake all that stuff off down into the ground, giving it all down to Mother Earth. She can recycle. A bit like composting. You're putting all the rubbish from your kitchen table into the ground and it rots and all those nutrients get recycled. So just swipe off any debris that you don't need down into the ground. And we're maybe going slightly over time, but that's okay. I'd rather extend it for a few minutes and finish off properly. And that's exactly what we're going to do now to finish off. So if you like to breathe in and bring your arms up, and breathing out, bring your hands down the midline of the body. And breathe in. Gathering the energy we've been cultivating, been working with, because that's what Qigong means. And then drawing it down the midline of the body, down just below the navel. And one more time. Just breathing through your nose with this exercise. And then right hand for ladies, just below the navel, with your left hand on top. And for gentlemen, it's your left hand with the right hand on top. Doing 3 deep abdominal breaths to store the energy we've been cultivating this morning in our Dantian, in our major energy center just below the navel. Okay, so that's the end of today's session. Now, next Wednesday, I'm not sure what date that is. Hang on a minute. Look up in my diary. Easier that. So next Wednesday is, today's the 28th, isn't it? So next Wednesday, the 3rd of Feb, I will be doing on the Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. UK time, exercise your back. So it'd be very useful for back and spinal health. And on Thursday, the 4th of February, at 10:30 a.m. UK time, obviously, I will be doing exercises for digestion system. So if you've got anything that's abominable with your abdominals, then we'll have exercises to help. So thank you for sharing this session with me today, and look forward to seeing you next time.